Respect the pump. All of a sudden, Bitcoin comes out of nowhere yesterday, planting a huge green candle. And now things get interesting. Now, guys, this is a massive show. Reason why it's a massive show is we've been waiting for this little relief rally, right? And ultimately waiting for the altcoins to have their catch up. But what it's starting to seem is we had this death cross on the weekly, and we have this area of 25,000, right? Now, the fact that Bitcoin literally absorbed from 21,500 in this week all the way back to this major resistance, not only making a higher high, but forming this incredible weekly candle over here, things might actually be a lot bigger than what we expect. We've been expecting a few weeks of bullishness. There may be a little bit of depression, something like that. But what we're starting to get now is Bitcoin decided to go to one of the most incredible levels. And what's crazy about this is the next levels after this, the gap. You want to talk about a short squeeze. You want to talk about a huge motion where the market can just do something that none of us thought it would be. Now is the time. If Bitcoin breaks 25K, the next levels are absolutely crazy. Now, what also gets a lot more interesting is we've been waiting for the dominance, right? And we're like, okay, where's this leg down coming in the dominance? And ultimately, the only time we don't mind dominance going up is on a Bitcoin pump. Because then at least the markets are still bullish. We don't want dominance going up when the market is going down. But what's crazy right now is Bitcoin is so near breaking the previous high, and then it falls into a different system. We were expecting a nice little pullback here, and when are we going to have this little altcoin catch-up? You know, this catch-up of 20, 30, 40%, get the altcoins moving. Things are starting to print differently now. If Bitcoin breaks 25K and dominance breaks this level over here, you can be looking at a dominant spike that takes it all the way back to the top of the range. Now, what does this mean? This means we thought this was a shorter time frame bullish pump. This may be extended, and this may go to levels that we did not expect. And what does that mean for altcoins? That means that we were expecting a nice altcoin pump. Now we can be expecting a possible mega pump. Guys, this is a huge show. This is massive. I'm going to go through altcoins. I have many altcoins for you guys, actually, and ones I haven't spoken about, ones that are breaking levels now. And we have Bitcoin at this critical level. In the next 24 hours, shit can get wild. And I want you guys to be early. No more wasting time, James. It's a great day. It's a bullish day. It's a green day. Push that button.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
Banter fam, if you're brand new to the channel, subscribe. If you're part of the family, hit that like button. If we get over 1,500 likes in the stream, I might give away the Rolex. Now remember, guys, if you open an exchange link below, a ByBit or Bitget account, and you trade on that, it gives you access to winning a Rolex, giving you a chance to win the Rolex, which we have to give away in the next 10 days, which is crazy. So if you always wanted a Rolex, now's your time to possibly win one. Remember, we have Discord. We have all of that. If you have a look below in the description, guys, you find all of our exchange links. If you sign up on them, you get sign-up bonuses, but it gives you access. It gives you access to our Discord. It gives you access to all of the tokens, all of the trades. I've been updating every single day. You should have all the alpha and everything you need. Now, how are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling? What do we feel about this pump right now? What I like about it is, again, a Bitcoin pump. Leaving the altcoins, yes, we're getting some gains in altcoins, but ultimately there's still time with altcoins. And we got to love this part of the market because it goes Bitcoin, ETH, major alts. And yesterday, what are the two decent movers? Bitcoin and ETH. Bring money into the market. Bring the FOMO in. And now I'm pretty much sure that this leg that we're on now is going to bring a huge retail wave. It's going to bring in the money that we got to take profits on. Very important. But things have gotten bigger. Now, what I want to explain about that is let's firstly jump quickly to the monthly on Bitcoin. And what I gave at the end of December, I said Bitcoin's been following the cycle, right? It's been following for the last 2 to 3 bull runs, for the last 2 before this. The 2017, the last one we just had now, 2020. What it did was basically we had the high come in play, and ultimately we had the stochastic RSI make its way down. And when the RSI got to an oversold position, it actually stayed there for a while. And what this indicated for us, we speak about bear markets, right? And bear markets last longer than bull markets. Bull markets a year, maybe 15, 18 months, something like that. A bear market can be something that's, up to 3 years, something in a longer period. And 2 years, sorry. And if you have a look here, beautifully, when we had the top, we had a little bit of pullback in 2017, and then we went on to this little bear cycle, right? And then what happened after that was then we had this relief bear rally. And it was something that basically took us all the way from 3-4 and took us all the way back to the region of 14,000. Then we went into this depression mode where it went quite boring, right? Now, what was crazy, what I showed in the beginning of the year and the end of last year was we were hitting the exact same time frame where the RSI hit the bottom, came in exactly there, and it did the same thing. It trailed down here for a while. And when it trailed down for a while, it basically repeated the same thing of 396 days in that oversold position. Okay. And you could see over here, we did the same thing. The first time we went down around 80%. And currently, before we had this bounce, we went near 80%, 78%. So similar percentages. And then we also had the similar time frame. And all of a sudden, the RSI spikes up at the exact same time as this area over here. And basically what it did was it basically left the oversold position 396 days after that. And now what we're seeing is this area over here was basically something we're informing that maybe we're in over here. Now, what's quite interesting, and this is what I want us to look at what are the possibilities of this leg right now, because we have 25K. And 25K has been the area where we had the death cross on the weekly. We've had the 200 weekly moving average, the 50 moving average. Everything is sitting at 25K right now. And everyone is saying that this is the rejection point. This is the point where the bears are going to hold control. All of a sudden, Bitcoin's coming to life. And what happens if it actually breaks that? How crazy could things actually get? And where's the realistic views of how big this can get? We have to always play both sides of the coin with crypto. You never, ever, ever doubt Bitcoin, because all the doubters in the history of Bitcoin's existence got crushed. Everyone that said it's zero, it's going down to lower levels, they always get absolutely destroyed. And if you ask them in 2012 or 2013 that Bitcoin was going to go to $69,000 in 2021, they would have all said no. So we must always look at both sides. Now, what was interesting when I pulled up this chart is when, especially the time frame, when the time frame happened, we hit this little rally up. And it doesn't mean that we just go straight bull run season. It means we have a bear rally up, a little bit of boringness, and then we start the next cycle, right? Hopefully the cycle that can get us to 100K, get us to 200K, to the higher levels where we see Bitcoin going and where we think Bitcoin should be priced. And what basically happens is you have this few months up, get a little bit more retail in, and then it hits this rally. Now, what's interesting is I took a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, and I saw where did this wave go? And it basically took from this whole correction, it went to the 618. And then it had this boring, slow dripping, had a little shakeout. It didn't make a lower low. And if it goes off the last 2 cycles, the bottom could technically possibly be in. We may retest that range a little bit later. But if it follows the same thing and it holds the levels, you can see a 50 moving average there, right? You see this 50 weekly moving average. Amazing. We just reclaimed it. It's huge. It's huge. We haven't been many times before that. And as long as we held that, you saw what it actually did. But now I took that and I placed it on this chart. And I'm like, whoa, okay, let's have a look. The only thing that's changed in the last while is the range. Okay. But if I take from top to bottom, where's 618? It showed me $48,000. Okay, where everyone's going to say, whoa, Sheldon, like this is crazy. I'm plotting out the scenarios where everyone doubts and everyone turns. We might be shocked on how big this move can get. So I'm giving you a higher time frame view first. And then I'm going to give you the weekly and show you all the different areas. But it is quite crazy. It is quite crazy to say that if this bear rally that we're having right now, don't be surprised if it's a lot bigger than what you expect, because Bitcoin has always done this. And if this decides to actually go up for a few months, because I don't know about you, but if I put up this RSI, I'm only seeing it lifting now. I only see it exiting the oversold position now, which is crazy. And the way it works for crypto is it takes a little bit of time to get to major levels, but everyone is trying to hold 25K right now. All the shorters, all the bears, they're all trying to hold this. What does that mean? It means there's a huge gap between 25 and 28K, which means a short squeeze, right? It means all these guys, they have to protect themselves. And that means just hit, and we start filling these gaps a lot quicker. So don't be surprised. I'm not saying 50K, right? But I'm saying don't be surprised if this move does go into the 30Ks. If it does go to these high levels, if Bitcoin breaks the major level of the 25K. Now, let me show you this exact chart over here when it comes to the weekly. And let's just make sure I have the correct one. That one there. Amazing. Cool. So what we are seeing right now, I'll first start with the daily and then we'll look, is Bitcoin not only just broke the higher high, right? It smashed the higher high. The previous high we made now, we smashed. Where are we right now? Okay. Firstly, we know the moving averages. 200-day and the 50 moving average is sitting right here. Then we have this previous high. Remember when we made the drop off, the initial drop off to 17.8, and then we had this push up to the 25K. We have that area there as well. Then what we have between that is this huge gap. We have this gap where from here all the way to the next daily closing candles is between $28,000 and $31,000, which is crazy. This is where the huge gap is. But now I explained to you the gaps. You saw it on the shorter time frames on this area over here. As soon as Bitcoin lost this little gap over here, it accelerated. And the gaps are something very important for you to understand. And here is the next huge gap if Bitcoin gets through this area. Now I want to show you the next interesting thing. This is the dominance, right? When money flows into Bitcoin. I didn't expect. I was expecting Bitcoin 25K, possible local top. I was still expecting an altcoin rally. I was still expecting that thing. But now I'm at that point where Bitcoin is literally powered up to 25, that we may be thinking too small, because Bitcoin may rally a while longer. We know altcoins come next. We know the mega pump comes next and all these sort of things. It's about how long is this bullish rally going to happen. Now, this is interesting. If Bitcoin breaks 25K, right, and it breaks it and it holds it and that becomes support, and this dominance decides to break this previous level over here, it looks like it wants to respect the previous cycle that it's been running in. And that's been this range between 40% and 48%. And that basically means that we can be looking at dominance. If it breaks this area, this was the last little bit of major resistance that it had. And after this, we have it going all the way back up to 48%. Now, what this does mean, it does mean that altcoins are going to run with Bitcoin, of course. But the true altcoin, when Bitcoin goes boring and slows down, and the true altcoin absolute rally, because we want this dominance to move down, get the true altcoins moving, that may come a little bit later. But the power of it, though, is it's going to be a lot bigger than what we actually think. So if we have this, don't be surprised that if Bitcoin breaks 25K, that the dominance is sucked by Bitcoin a while longer. But it will always repeat and it will always stick to the same process of Bitcoin and then into altcoins. And this would be huge. If we have a look at these two major areas of when Bitcoin dominance got to these were huge altcoin legs. These weren't small ones. These were big ones. And these were even times of the bull run. Guys, that huge run that we had in July, when we had Bitcoin, when we had Ethereum go to all the way to 4,800, we had all the alts, everything go absolutely wild. That was this run over here. And it's crazy that if this ends up turning to something like this, this can mean a $30,000 to a $35,000 Bitcoin, and then getting pushed into alts. You know, what does this mean for alts? It means Ethereum 226, 28, 3K, maybe. Okay. And this is the relief rally. So it means now, whoa, we need to think bigger, because now Bitcoin's starting to break crazy grounds right now. And now we need to be thinking bigger and higher time frame when it comes to these alts too. And let's actually jump into those and actually have a look. So I just want to confirm again with Bitcoin. It smashed these levels. Where it bounced was healthy. It bounced in support. It bounced in this area over here. And now it's fighting this last little resistance. And it is going to take a little bit of time here. When it cracks through here, I'm expecting a huge push, a squeeze, that can get up to 28K pretty fast. And all that I'm saying is this can still be part of this bear cycle, this what do they call it? Bear market thing where we can rally to 30, still a little bit of drop off, but this is good. This is really, really, really good. And now all of a sudden we can see how these altcoins, everything going to life. We even have the meme coins. Maybe Floki is a great coin. I don't know. I don't trade it or anything like that, but look how we're starting to get this huge push. Now let's actually speak about the tokens. Remember guys, on Twitter, and that's the way I'm going to be running on the show over here. Follow me on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. But what I did yesterday was I said, give me your altcoins. Give me your altcoins you want me to chart for tomorrow's show. And these are, I'm going to get, if you want, go put your altcoins in here. I'm going to go chart some of these for you guys later on in the show. So go show lots of love. And I also did a Twitter Spaces. Go listen to the Twitter Spaces. Amazing. Okay, so let's speak about the movers. Our algo is still good. It's still fighting that 200-day. Now, altcoins may take a little bit of time here, but we know what comes next. And before I do show you all the individual altcoins, this was the interesting chart. It was this total 3 chart over here. Now I redrew the trend line and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, okay. So we did have this altcoin push. It never did anything. Bitcoin's here. It's higher at these levels. But what it did do was it broke out and it came and made a higher low and it actually held the trend, which was really, really big to see. And then what I said, we need a higher high to confirm the retest. And yesterday, the altcoins put in a higher high, which is good. Now what's crazy is I had this original idea, right? And the original idea was we go to this resistance, 22%. Now, this is if Bitcoin stays below 25K. If Bitcoin decides to go to the higher levels, you need to plot this the same as the Bitcoin chart because they're printing and they're looking the exact same. We're thinking here right now, this is where Bitcoin's at, and it's got a little bit of resistance. If Bitcoin goes through that, this is where the 28K, the 38K is sitting. Now, all of a sudden, you can take this chart and you can be like, whoa, okay. So if Bitcoin decides to go to those higher levels, guys, we're still very far from all-time highs. This isn't something that takes us straight there. But look how all of a sudden that this simple move of Bitcoin going to the higher levels, it literally 3x's the size of what we think. Now, that makes sense because it makes sense if dominance goes up to 48. After that, we could have dominance come all the way back down to the low 40s. If we have a leg like that for altcoins again, and what that still means, I still think the second half of this year can be a little bit bearish. It can be, quite annoying, these sort of things. But I still said the first 6 months of this year could be good. And I was thinking maybe March we start ending. But if we start to break these levels, we can be looking, until June, until these longer periods. And if we do have dominance go higher than where it is now, and then we have the leg down, this makes sense now that Bitcoin is going to these levels, so are the altcoins. And this is crazy because if you match all of these patterns with the individual altcoin, you will start to see that the levels that it gets back to. I spoke about a $60 Solana. I spoke about these higher level. These all become a possibility now with Bitcoin getting over 25K. So let's actually jump into, and the first ones I want to do is I want to speak about the coins that I called yesterday and to see if they're still available. I did speak about DYDX. And I spoke about how it did hit a level and it did ultimately, let me go into my original charts over here. Let's get DYDX because this has been a hot one. And I spoke if it breaks this trend line, we're on. And there might be some retests. Bitcoin's going to take a little bit of time to get through 25. And by a little bit of maybe 24 hours. But what it means is hit there, maybe a little bit down. There's going to be a wall there. So Bitcoin's going to keep doing this, right? It's taking a few punches. And in that time, if there are any dip-offs, for me, DYDX, if it does test anywhere between a 2.8 to 2.9, this is one that is hot, guys. That is jumping fast. It still hasn't hit the higher levels. Pay attention. NEA protocol, I spoke about it. Coming back to life. Amazing. So NEA, I still think is a great one. I got more tokens, guys. That's why I'm just quickly giving my thoughts on the ones I've spoken about. There's VET. We're nearly back at the highs again with VET. So VET still for me. THETA. Nearly back at the highs again. Amazing. Let's speak about MATIC. Ripping. Broke trend line on. Where's MATIC going from here? It has more resistance. It looks like 1.7, 1.8 is the next major levels for MATIC. Let's speak about Polkadot. Polkadot back above 200-day moving average in DCA area now. It may go slightly lower of another 3-4% in DCA level. Still one that's anything that's above 200-day moving average right now are the ones that are looking hot for the next move. Any ones that are slightly below, expect lag, expect it to take its time. DOT, amazing. Let's speak about Solana. Big one, right? So I gave you guys this yesterday. I gave you the 2 scenarios on Solana. And it's hit the first one beautifully. And what it basically shows here is we broke the trend on Solana. There's a short-term possible small pullback that comes around about the 22.7, 22.8. And from here, we go and we break the major trend line. Okay? And this is the major trend line that it's been in for a while. Now, for me, it's quite crazy, but this was the area that Solana held for so long, and it is the biggest area that they're trying to hold the price down. But if Solana breaks this trend and it breaks the high of 26, like I said, now the possibilities are 40, now the possibilities are 50, now the possibilities of 60. But now if we match this chart up, and I say the same thing again, Bitcoin decides to go to 30, 32K. If it stays 25, 26, amazing. Solana can get to 40, 50. If we get to the higher levels, these are the resistances on Bitcoin. Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at a 70, 80. These are things we're going to progress as the market moves. I'm just saying this market's expanding right now, and it could be a lot bigger than what we actually think. And if Bitcoin decides to go to these levels, that means a lot of these major alts should decide to go to those levels too. So just pay attention, because if Solana, it's taking a little bit of time now. It has done well coming from $8 to $24. But if it breaks this trend line, it gets real and it gets crazy. Now, that brings me back again to L1s, because you look at the next one again. Firstly, ALGO, amazing. 200-day, it's lagging a little bit there. If it gets through that 200-day, be ready. But the same thing now. I'm taking these. If Bitcoin breaks 25K, I now remove this. Gone. Don't be afraid to take profits on the way up, but gone. My small thinking disappears, because for me, Bitcoin is at this level here, and it breaks this. Now all of a sudden you look at crazier, more higher time frame levels. So if Bitcoin breaks 25, I'll go again. It gets past 200-day moving average. I was looking at 40-something cents. I was looking at a 50% growth. Bitcoin goes to 28, 30K. Now all of a sudden I'm looking at 70, 80 cents. Now I'm looking at way bigger. I'm matching Bitcoin's move. And this is the importance of understanding the market cycle, understanding these things. Move with the market. The trend is your friend, right? If you're going to stay in the small mindset, but the market's thinking big. I know that there's a lot. People are saying Asia and all these sort of things. And this is why the market's pumping. And I actually have a few Chinese coins and a few of these that I'm speaking about, because on the research call, we're speaking about money. That's where money's coming from right now and what's pumping. All these sort of things. But it's starting to get quite crazy, and maybe they want a mega FOMO run where they get a lot of the market in. Let's look again. Fantom. Boom. Okay, so I gave this trade for you guys yesterday, and I'm hoping we get a retest. But Fantom on the run. And what's beautiful about Fantom right now is on the 4-hour, it is making a head and shoulders pattern, an inverse head and shoulders, where basically we have this left shoulder, we break out a trend, we come test it again, and then we basically shoot for the higher levels or anything like that. If we do have the early 50 cents, the 52 to 53 cents for Fantom, this is one. I spoke to Cheds yesterday, and he was right. He was right about we keep waiting for the tokens. We keep trying to find the lagging tokens, right? And right now, the tokens that are hot is anything above 200-day moving average. But if a coin is hot, trade a coin that's hot, because be clever with buying pullbacks. Be clever with the levels you get it at. But for me, Fantom's hot. It's moved. It's broken. It's going through major areas. And for me, it's the level of play with the market rather than against it. You want a coin that's doing this, and you're trying to wait for that one. Make the one that just broke the major levels, because that's the first one that bounces, right? And look how hard it is bounced back. So I'm looking hopefully for this test. And then I am seeing, like I said, Bitcoin past 25. I was thinking that this gets to, 60, 70, 80 cents, those sort of areas. Now let's look at it on higher time frames. Let's look at it on the more crazier. And that takes us to around 1.1 to 1.2. Now that's 100% up from here. Even though the token's done crazy things, Now, all of a sudden, if Bitcoin goes to these areas, Fantom. So Fantom is one of the big ones again. Where's the one I'm looking for here, actually? Oh, how's this call from Run yesterday? Yeah, how's this call yesterday? We called it yesterday. We called it in this area over here. In the zone over here, you should be, what, 120% up? 120% up from yesterday. That's crazy. Let's actually have a look at Rose. Slowly taking its time. BNB. Woo! How's that? Bring us a bunch of FUD. Let's swallow you up. BNB on the map. And what's crazy about this is it did break a beautiful trend. And hopefully there is a retest of 310. And BNB just recovered crazy. And it's actually insane how well BNB's done after the while. But there are next resistance of $360, all these sort of things. So pay attention on BNB as well. But the one I want to speak about is Cardano. Cardano, for me, woken up. Look at that now. Boom, absorbed everything. L1's on form, and it looks like Cardano wants to come around hopefully 38 to 39 cents for retest. And for me, it's on. This is where Cardano wakes up, and look at it compared to the rest. Now, like I said, a 25, 26K Bitcoin takes us here, right? Takes us to the areas of 57 cents, maybe even 60. But if we get a 32K Bitcoin,
4,000 people watching you.
You're surprised?
4,000 people.
What's up, bro? But like I said, guys, if we go to the higher levels now all of these become possibilities.
Respect the pump.
Respect the pump. Respect the pump. Respect the pump. Okay. Now all of a sudden 80 cents, 90 cents. Remember, we still have a long way to go. But now it could be the possibility of actual real gains. And just to these levels on the market type and everything makes sense. So like I'm saying, these entries that you're getting now, if Bitcoin does break these zones, these are entries that can seriously change the game for you. You know, if we have anywhere here, you know, you're looking at around about a 200% gains of getting up to, you know, the 1.2. Now, be smart with your portfolio. Have a percentage Bitcoin, ETH, have a percentage in major alts, and then have your smaller part of your portfolio in the smaller caps. That's amazing. And I got some smaller caps for you guys today. But be smart with them because everything is looking to make incredible gains. So don't go put all your money in small caps and things like that. Play it smart because 200% in Cardano, that's a great move. It's a great start from where we've been over the last while. ZIL, still. When ZIL gets through this area, it's holding 200-day. I'm looking as a ZIL explosion. But like I said, these all get deleted. Bitcoin breaks at high levels. I'm now starting to think bigger. And as the market erupts, we will be updating stop losses. We will be moving things up. 𝗕𝗏𝗽𝗍, all these things are looking amazing. Like I said, scallop again for me is my small cap that's moving. I actually have Nakamoto here for you guys, where this thing for me is my biggest gainer that I'm looking at. Gaming, I am looking at gaming. It is forming this flag. And if Bitcoin at any point breaks 25, Naka's going to fly. It will break this 31. And from this 31, I'm looking at the areas of this getting to 70 cents, if not $1. So keep eye on NAKA as well. Okay. Many tokens. I'll actually go through a lot of these tokens tomorrow as well, guys, because I still want to get through many of your guys' tokens. So let's go through the new ones. Okay. Now, we have some of these tokens that are moving, right? And it's in a category that's moving. But this is where a lot of money is coming from right now. And if you look at this, I want to explain to you guys again. The 200-day moving average is your friend. It's something that's hitting these things early. And I want to explain to you, look at this. 200-day hold, all of a sudden rip, right? And this is a nice category. And I know Run's going to speak a lot more about it later. But I want to give you guys some possible early entries on these things. Smaller part of your portfolio, bigger gainer tokens. Okay? This one, too far gone. But I want to explain to you the process. The 200-day, all of a sudden, rip, volume going absolutely crazy. Now, this one for me, so you can go do your research on the tokens, Chinese tokens. This is where money's coming from right now. This is where things are flowing. Run was saying, imagine they unban Bitcoin. Like, imagine. But look at this. Look at this trend. Look at the 200-day respected. And look at the possibilities of where this move next. I know some things about these tokens as well. I personally have not even invested in this token yet. I only got the information 2-3 hours ago. I have not personally been invested in this yet, but I am accumulating this token. But from here, when it gets through this trend line, it's already respected 200-day. I'm looking at crazy levels. I'm looking at 1.8. I'm even looking at 2.7. Do your research on it. This token for me, great. Gains, I see money flowing here, looking amazing. Qtum, something that we haven't spoken about for a while. Long range, longer term coin. 200-day respected now. It's going to approach a daily 200. It gets through that daily 200. I'm looking at higher areas. Bitcoin breaks, remember, you have time within altcoins. You want to see Bitcoin break 25. 25 means go, 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 go. Until it's through that $25 cost. Take your time. Know that there might be small pullbacks. There might be small little pushes like that. When this coin gets through this trend over here, Bitcoin breaks 25. I'm looking high levels. I'm looking at 8. I'm looking at 9. I'm looking at $10. Another good one that I'm focusing. These are ones that I'm looking to trade now, guys. Ones that I'm moving money to and ones that I am accumulating. We then have this one over here. This one for me is great. And this one's in a position now. And I am looking for a 200-day close above that I want to see. FLM. And these are tokens that are on Binance. Amazing. Broke trend, right above 200-day moving average. And I'm looking at 26 cents. I'm looking at higher levels on this token over here. Really good. Now, this is a category I'm focusing on, guys. Big category. DENT was in it. It's gone now. I wanted to give it to you guys. There's the 200-day. Boom. Absolutely ripped and on its way. All these tokens here are ripping. They're doing crazy things. And you could see here. So QKC, Qtum, FLM. Those are the three that I'm giving in this category. Go do your research. It looks insane. I see we had Ethereum also wake up. But let's actually jump in and have a look at some of these tokens. We have 𝗏𝗏𝗃 request. Let's have a look at 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Great token. Broken trend. This one looks great. So look at there we go. So same thing here. Small retest of 𝗏𝗏𝗃, possibly in the next 2-3 couple of hours. Around about the 0.09394 in that area. It's broken trend. And like I said, 𝗏𝗏𝗃 on the higher time frame for me. We're thinking here, Bitcoin breaks 25, we start thinking higher levels. We start thinking 20 cents, higher sort of views. I'll say this again. This market erupts, Bitcoin breaks this, and everything takes off. In a few days' time, there might not be entries again. And I'm just focusing on stop losses, TPs. So days I turn bullish, days I turn not bearish, but TP-ish. These are things I'm going to work with you on the journey. Let's look at the next one. So these tokens, guys, is requests. I'm not personally invested in many of them, so please do your research on any of them. No financial advice on them at all. EGLD, amazing. Let's put up EGLD. Let's go here. Ooh, nearly. So what's good about EGLD is obviously this. Let's actually erase all the mess. Advice chart, not above 200-day yet. Wait for 200-day. Like Ches was right yesterday. He said it. Wait for the major indicators to break and then get interested. So put your 200-day, put an alert on here. Only once we're above that do we start looking at. But yes, there are higher levels of $70, $80 on a 25, 26K Bitcoin. Goes higher. Now you're looking at $90, $100. So yes, it can look amazing. Just let it get past step one. Step one, let it get past the 200-day. Casper. Let's speak about Casper. There's a few requests here. CSPR. Labs, is that what it is? Is it right? Let me know. If that is correct, cross. There we go. Daily cross 200. Get interested. It does have this trend over here. And if you want to know what I'm thinking about possibility wise, it has one resistance at 5.7, good 25%. But then there is areas that it can get to around about the 11 cents, if not higher. Take it step for step with that. Let's see these. Is that Moon River? MOVR. Moon River. Amazing. Let's look at Moon River. Oh, nearly ready. When this thing's above, this is a big gainer. This is something. The market rub. Wait for it to get above 200 days. So you want this thing rather get a little bit later, but on a big push. But when this thing's above $11 and it holds it as support, this gets crazy. This gets 22. And if Bitcoin goes to high levels, you're looking at a 4-5x possible on Moon River. So I'll just keep accumulating here, and I'll get serious about it when it's above the 200-day moving average. Let's see more of them over here. Veracity. Is it Veracity? From VOR. Veracity. Amazing. Many of these aren't OKX, guys. OKX is a new sponsor of the show. So there is a referral link below where you'll find many of these tokens. They're not on all exchanges. So I know OKX does have many of them. No buying here, but looks good. Looks good. Looks another, the next resistance is up here. So, 0.018. So looks pretty good. No buying for me. I'm not interested in getting those. I want the fresh ones over the 200-day. ICP. Is it still alive? Is it still alive? ICP. Let's look at ICP. USDT. Amazing. Oh, it looks pretty good. Does look pretty good. Hold 200-day. Wait for that patient breakout of Bitcoin, and there are higher levels. There's levels of $10. Like I said, Bitcoin goes to the higher levels. Go match the chart. All these charts have done the same thing. If Bitcoin goes to this part on its chart, which is $28,000 to $33,000, that's where you can more or less get an understanding of where the altcoins, because the total three is showing the exact same thing. We have RSR. RSR. Let's have a look at RSR for you guys. This was a fun token. I like to call this like a bull market token. Not there yet, guys. Not there yet. I'll bring this up later when it's above the better areas over here. Super Farm. I've been speaking. I wanted earlier on yesterday. On the spaces. Go watch the spaces, guys. Oh wait, before I continue, Sniper School. Open a link below, put $100 in that, you get to trade with it, and go register for Sniper School. Guys, you have to. Like, if you want to do the show and you want to kick ass, like, our Sniper School guys are killing it right now, and they're doing incredibly well. Join Sniper School. Join it, join it, join it. Next cohort starts in the next 10 days. So get in. Super Farm. See, even NFT. Oh, Super looks great. Dollar cost and zeros, guys. Super looks good. This looks really good. Reclaim 200-day. We're on there now. If it breaks this high, we're looking big. We're looking 26. And then this is the interesting one, guys. This is why I'm talking so much about Bitcoin. If it gets above 25 and it fills that gap, look what it does for the altcoins. Like, look at that. Like, it's huge. Now we're looking at 60 cents, 80 cents. So be patient with it. But guys, this gets really exciting if Bitcoin breaks this level. It gets really good. So until we're above 25, yes, at this, I still have stop losses in place, still these sort of things. Definitely still protect yourself. But just be patient for that break. Dominance is up right now. There's lots of times within altcoins. But Super looks really good. That looks really, really, really good. I'm not talking about Hex. Hex is, I used to be invested in it. 𝗏𝗟𝗃, I love. 𝗏𝗟𝗃, I mean. Love 𝗏𝗟𝗃. Chainlink. Speak about Chainlink. Link is also amazing. Bounced really hard, really good. Reclaim 200-day. Yes, I'll be buying Chainlink. Yes. I like Chainlink. I'm still looking at the $10, $12, $15 range. And if Bitcoin goes to those higher levels, let's actually chart 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Let's actually go see what this token's been doing. 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Ooh, 48. Ooh. Boom. See why you want to find the bad boys. When they're above 200-day moving average, they're ripping. It's quite easy to trade this right now, guys. Quite easy. Crazy. It's hit this resistance. There's high levels. Definitely not buying, but look at that. It's fun to watch. Fun to watch. That's the one. Is this the one that Run spoke about? GLMR. It's one that was good. I know Run's been saying dollar cost into this one. Ooh, it's just lagging a little bit on the 200-day. But when it's above it, like I said, this is a 83 cents to $1. So it's good. It's definitely good. Bitcoin just dropped to 20K. What you smoking, bro? Send some this way. Send some this way. Send what you're smoking. Gala Games. Gala Games. Gaming, I definitely still think gaming is going to be another ripper. Gala's good. So let's look here. It's actually got a trend. And if Bitcoin breaks at any point, Gala looks like it's going to break too. So it hits it beautifully. There's the trend. It breaks that trend. Nice. Where does it go after that? It goes higher levels. Close to 10 cents. Big one. Big one. That's a nice one. Okay, amazing, guys. Let's get the first. I've given tons of coins. I'll give many more. Aptos. Also focus on Aptos. There's a nice trend line there. Have a fantastic day. This is great. Just put it out there. Bitcoin break 25K. Hold it. And then we are on. We're about to have a fantastic start of this year. For now, stay level-headed. Don't chase too many pumps. 25K. Let's break through that. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, Banter fam.